Well, we're here at Loudham's in Nottingham on a very frosty day in November to find out more about the Chausson 620, the latest model from the French manufacturer. This, I should point out, is a Chausson flash pack, which is slightly different from the welcome pack that you might have read about in the latest issue of MMM. It's actually £4 cheaper, but that obviously therefore means you get a slightly more basic standard of spec. The lighting, for example, in here is perhaps more standard than you might be read about in the magazine. But that doesn't mean that you don't get an enormously good feeling of space in this van, and yes, that even applies for somebody of my height at 6'6", and we'll find out why that is in just a minute. Like the Chausson 510, which in a flash pack just like this one was our motorhome of the year last year, the 620 has this fantastic end washroom with a basin and toilet here, a very large wardrobe which goes right across the back of the van and where you could easily store everything you'd want really for a holiday, and of course the shower. But the washroom isn't the only thing that makes it exciting. The 620 has brought back the central travel seat that we last saw in Chausson's now disbanded suite range. This means that in effect you get a proper lounge, not a Pullman dinette, and something that people can walk around on both sides. But the even more exciting thing is look what happens when I go to pull this seat down. Okay, I've flattened the back seat, I've removed the backrests on the side seats. Now look, with just a touch of a button, you get the European motorhome industry's first, and so far only, drop-down island bed. One that you and your partner can easily move around in during the night without having to disturb the other. At that height, and obviously with a ladder, there's still enough room underneath for a little one to have a child's bed if you're taking the one grandchild with you. But the really exciting thing is what happens next. You can take it right down to where it's just 630mm off the floor. You then just push it forward and you have an island bed which more or less anybody can get into and around. And obviously you also have the cab seats as headboards. And better still, there's still enough room around here for you to make a morning cuppa without disturbing anyone. What could be nicer? The other really good thing about this bed is that it's 2 meters long, so again, easily long enough for somebody my size. And at the point where it matters, which is around shoulder height, it's 140 centimetres wide. So there's easily enough room for two fairly big adults to have enough room to sleep during their time. So is there a downside? Well, I guess there has to be. And in this van, it's the case that this kitchen in the central part of the van is perhaps not the largest kitchen I've ever seen in a motorhome. Storage isn't great either. They've got 2 overhead lockers, but you can't put anything under the seats because they're all taken up with water heaters and water tanks that are fully winterized. But at least UK customers will be glad to know that even in this, the flash pack, you still get a grille fitted, which our continental cousins, for reasons best known to themselves, have to do without. But as long as you're not a budding Jamie Oliver, there's a lot to admire in this really innovative van. There's loads of space, as I said, and because this travel seat doesn't have anything behind it, as Chausson did have in the original suite, when you're on site, you can unhook a lever here and let the whole thing roll back and turn into a chaise longue. So when you'll blow anyone? One final thing to admire about the Chausson is the choice of cab. You can go with the tried and tested and trusted Fiat Ducato, but for £1,400 less, and yes, also in the flash pack, you can go for the all-new Ford Transit, which to my mind is a better drive.